I'd be glad to provide a detailed explanation for each line in the provided Go code. Import statements. Import, encoding, JSON. Imports the JSON package for encoding and decoding JSON data. Import, FMT. Imports the FMT package for formatted I/O operations. Import, IO, IOUTL. Imports the IOUTL package for reading and writing files. Import, NET, HTTP. Imports the HTTP package for making HTTP requests. Import, OS. Imports the OS package for interacting with the operating system. Import, STRONV. Imports the STRONV package for converting strings to numeric values. Import, strings. Imports the strings package for string manipulation. Import, time. Imports the time package for working with time-related operations. Weather data struct. Type weather data struct defines a struct named weather data to represent the structure of the weather data retrieved from the API. Chord struct defines a nested struct chord within weather data to store latitude and longitude information. Weather struct defines a slice of structs weather within weather data to store weather conditions. Main struct defines a nested struct main within weather data to store temperature, pressure, humidity, and other weather parameters. Wind struct defines a nested struct wind within weather data to store wind speed, direction, and gust. Cloud struct defines a nested struct clouds within weather data to store cloud coverage. Rain struct defines a nested struct rain within weather data to store rainfall information. Snow struct defines a nested struct snow within weather data to store snowfall information. Sys struct defines a nested struct sys within weather data to store system-related information, such as sunrise and sunset times. Get weather function. Func get weather, a PI key, city string, error, defines a function named get weather that takes an API key and city name as input and returns an error if something goes wrong. API URL equals FMT, sprintf, link to api.openweathermap.org, city, a PI key, constructs the API URL using the provided city name and API key, specifying metric units for temperature. Resp, equals HTTP. Get, API URL, makes an HTTP GET request to the constructed API URL and stores the response in resp. If equals nil, checks if there was an error during the HTTP request and returns the error if it occurred. Defer resp. Body. Close. Ensures that the response body is closed after the function finishes, even if an error occurs. Body. Equals IOUTL. Read all, resp. Body. Reads the entire response body into a byte slice body. If equals nil, checks if there was an error while reading the response body and returns the error if it occurred. var weather data, declares a variable weather data of type weather data to store the parsed JSON data. Equals JSON. Unmarshal, body, and weather data, unmarshals the JSON data in body into the weather data struct. If equals nil, checks if there was an error during JSON unmarshalling and returns the error if it occurred. FMT, printf, weather in %sn, weather data, name, prints the city name. FMT, printf, temperature, %.1f degree C, n, weather data, main, temp, prints the temperature in Celsius with 1 decimal place. FMT, printf, description, %s, n, weather data, weather, 0, description, prints the weather description. FMT, printf, humidity, %d, %, n, weather data, main, humidity, prints the humidity percentage. FMT, printf, wind speed, %.1f meter per second, n, weather data, wind, speed, prints the wind speed in meters per second with 1 decimal place. Main function. Func main defines the main entry point of the program. A PI key equals os, getenv, openweathermap_API_key, tries to get the API key from the environment variable openweathermap_API_key. If a PI key equals, if the API key is not found in the environment, it tries to get it as the first argument from the command line. var city string declares a variable city to store the city name. If len, os, args, greater than 2, if the city name is provided as a command line argument, it assigns it to city. FMT, print, enter the city name, prompts the user to enter the city name if it's not provided as a command line argument. FMT, scanlan, and city, reads the user's input for the city name. Equals getWeather, a PI key, city, calls the getWeather function with the API key and city name. If equals nil, checks if there was an error in fetching the weather data and prints an error message if it occurred.